This is a piece of music called Solace by Joplin. It's a piece that I learned when I was about 10 years old, and I'll never forget. It's really the first piece of music that I played, that I learned to play on the piano, that was a kind of a discovery. All those hours alone practicing the discipline of playing scales. When I was a kid, the loneliness of going down into our basement to practice the piano, all of a sudden made sense. It's like, this is why I've been doing this for a couple of years. Struggling when my friends are out playing in the yard and I'm practicing the piano. Now I know why, so that I can enter into a piece of music like this, and it was really a kind of a revelation. I remember performing this piece at my first recital, coming down from the stage and just seeing people's faces, filled with kind of a wonder and joy at this beautiful music, and the realization that, wow, I could share this with people, this gift of music. What's really interesting in retrospect is how a piece of music like this particular piece by a composer who lived at the turn of the 20th century, late 1800s, early 1900s, Scott Joplin from North Texas, could get inside the imagination of a 10-year-old white kid from Lexington, Kentucky. How a piece of music can cross those cultural, racial, temporal boundaries and turn the world upside down of an unexpected recipient in me. And that's the really interesting question to me. How does any great piece of music or a great piece of art or poetry do that? Awaken something that crosses all boundaries of culture and time. We could theorize about this. David Tracy, the great Catholic theologian from the University of Chicago, has this notion of the classic, what he describes as a classic, these pieces of art or music that carry what he calls a surplus of meaning, that bear a surplus of meaning, that crosses temporal and racial and cultural boundaries, that resonate in people across time. I wasn't thinking about any of that or trying to propose a theory for the classic when I was 10 years old, but I do know that it was kind of a crucial window for me into the world, the culture of another people, very far from my own time, my own place, my own culture. So let's call it a graced encounter across the color line for a young 10-year-old kid just beginning to see the wider world beyond the narrow horizons of my youth. And what a gift it was. And I thank Scott Joplin for that gift.